Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. It is yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Jeez, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, July 27th. It's another crazy, crazy day. A lot of crazy stuff going on as usual. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of good stuff. It's just busy. A lot of busy time. I know a lot of people are getting ready to go to let's see, PaizoCon. Gen Con, a lot of people getting stuff ready. I'm looking at some stuff from Lance Red. If you know who Lance Red is, Lance has done a lot of work for me, for my company, and some other friends. And I can't say enough great things about Lance if you ever work with him. I know Lance is going to be at the show. Swing by, tell Lance you heard about him from my show. Get some work with him. Lance is great. You'll love the work he does. He's amazing. So it's just awesome. It's just he's just an awesome guy. So plus everybody's gonna have such a good time. I'm gonna be here, but we're spending time with Lucas, so I'm sure we'll be into some kind of trouble. I mean because crazy things always go on at home when people are having fun. There's always crazy things to do when you're there. So, oh, all right, so. It is Wednesday, so today is Wednesday. Of course, it's Comic Book Wednesday. With that, we're going to talk about some books I bought. We're also going to talk about some cool marketing strategies, and just talk about some good business ideas. I always like a good business idea or two on Wednesday because it's kind of the official, I'd say, marketing day that Marvel and DC go out of their way to basically get people interested in something people are already interested in. I mean, comic books. People have always been interested in comic books, so it's like, hey, we're gonna do some more cool stuff. And I'm always like, I don't understand why they can't seem to make better books if the marketing's so good. So we're gonna talk about that too. So this is what I picked up at my local shop. I went with a very, I guess, traditional and some kind of different stuff. Future Quest. Actually, I just do it one time. It's easier. Future Quest, the Hanna-Barbera, see Hanna-Barbera on the top, combination. This one was about Birdman. Uh, this whole series I'm really digging. I just really dig everything about it. I think it's just a great idea. I mean, I'm an old school Hanna-Barbera fan, and to see so many of the cool properties that I always loved as a kid in comic books is so cool, and especially from DC, but it's kind of like this is kind of like their motif. And I love that they're all interconnected. I love that they've done such a good job with. I can't say enough cool things about it. Yeah, it's nostalgic and cool in a great way. I feel sorry for kids who are new trying to pick it up, trying to understand. So I'm sure it's very confusing to them. But for an old guy like me, I love it. I'd like to see more of this kind of stuff. I wish they would also figure out a way to get it to point down to younger people, which we're going to talk about later. So that was good. That was good. The Avengers, written by Mark Waid, so the writing was good. Um, I'm not sure his name. How would pronounce his name? Mahmoud Assar did the art. He's done a lot of art for a lot of major companies. He also did some artwork way back in the day for Blue Devil Games. He started in RPGs, and of course, this is a great story. I had an opportunity to work with him, and I was so cheap, I did not work with him, and I still regret that to this day because see what he's doing. See, sometimes you got to pay people what they're worth. I know it's crazy when you say it from here and coming from me, but sometimes you got to do that. That was one of those crazy moments. Oh, and the book, it was a good story. I mean, it was a continuation, kind of a two-parter. Artwork was good. It made sense. But once again, these Avengers books, they're not horrible, but I'm not happy with a lot of things I see, especially since they're going to be going back to number one. But we'll talk about that too. And this Avengers, this is the Uncanny Avengers. While it's got some moments, it's got some cool moments and some cool things. I don't want to ruin some things for you. One, like in the middle, the big thing that happens in the middle was kind of cool. The Ultron Hank Pym combination is pretty cool. I like that. The artwork I really am a big fan of. I don't know why I like it so much, but I really like it. And I'm not sure if the inker is over inking him. Pepe Larraz, I guess it's Pepelarraz, the name of the artist. I really like his artwork. But once again, I think the inker is doing a little too much ink on it. But maybe that could be him. So, but like I said, I think it's an awesome, awesome, awesome book. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of fun, cool thing to read. Uh, I'll do this one first. Okay. So finally, after 4 issues in, they reveal who the big bad guy behind everything is and everything. And I was like, oh, good. Something interesting. The only problem I have with it, it's 4 issues in. I spent $16 to get really, 2 pages of villain. Is it even 2 pages of villain? I'm thinking. One, two. Wow. 2 pages of villain. And like the first page is like he's Shadow, and the second page he's revealed. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But for this kind of cost and this kind of book, this should have been issue number 2. The writing in this book, people rave about how great this guy Tanishi Coates is. His book must be better because everyone's raving about how great this is. Like, oh, it's such a great Black Panther run, and I've read just about every. Yeah, I've read every run, including the old Jungle Action book by Don McGregor back then. Yeah, this isn't as strong as that. It's definitely not anywhere near the Chris run at all. I mean, good lord. I mean, that run was amazing. And I'm 4 issues in, and I finally get the villain. And I'll tell you right now, they say this arc is done. This arc of it is done. This was a horrible arc. I spent $16 I can't get back, and that's how I feel about it. And that's not how I should feel about a character I love. I mean, dude, I'm a Black Panther fan. He's an Avenger. I love everything about the concept. I like Wakanda as a concept. I think you can do some great stories. I don't think they're doing those stories. That's the problem I have with this book. They're not doing stories that I think that I would enjoy. I think other people are enjoying them, but not me. And then, of course, bada bing, bada boom. Once again, look, I'm a Captain America fan. Always have been, always will be. They could turn Captain a Nazi. Not going to affect me not reading it. Of course I'm going to read it. I'm a fan. I read Captain America. It's pretty standard. And I love what they've done. I think this is a great issue. There's some really great moments. Even in this issue, I get to see one of my favorite villains, villains and mercenaries of all time, the Taskmaster. There's a great scene in that. A lot of Red Skull in this. And the last page, bada boom, bang. That's once again, I wonder if people are going to read this. I just think great issue. If you're a fan of Captain America, you're going to love it. I think they've done a great job on that. I think they've gone very, very well. I think it's a solid book. Boom, you should pick it up. No questions asked. I think some other stuff came out that I didn't see at my local store. I was just like, I'm not getting everything. I just grabbed this stuff. And with that, I can say I spent money. I spent money. This Black Panther was $4. This one was $4. Let's go. Let's see how much money I spent. This is another aspect of it. This goes play into what I'm about to talk about. See, like this. 4. I bought 5 comic books, and I spent, there's $20 for 5 comic books. Now, what's wrong with that? Everything's wrong with that. You're never going to get, and I've said this many times before, and I keep saying it again until someone actually listens to me who works at these major companies. Get ready. I have a feeling of a rant is going to come on. A mother 3 is not going to spend $12 on comic books. Not going to happen. You can forget that theory. That's just not going to happen. You'll get lucky if you get a mother 3 to spend $7.50 on 3 comic books. You guys have to think of. I mean, not even you guys. No, I want to call it you guys. Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, everybody does comics. I think you need to take a step back. I think you guys have fallen into the pit of. I wouldn't call it a pit of foolishness, but yeah, it's a pit of foolishness you've fallen into, because the problem becomes. There is no way in the world that people can afford that. I mean, look, I bought 5 books. And out of the 5 books, 1 wasn't good. So I spent $4 I'm never getting back. And that doesn't make me happy. Like I said, I was in for 16. I've been in for $16. I'm probably not going to buy any more of those. I'm probably not, because it's not exciting. It's not been a good series. They didn't understand what it takes to do good product and how to do it correctly. And they didn't do that. They basically, I can't say slop together, but that's not really what they did. But they just put together something that someone would be interested because they saw the movie and they're like, oh yeah, you saw the movie, you're gonna love this. Take this, you're gonna love it. And it is not. It's not good. It's not good. It is not strong. It is not powerful. It is quite sedate. And for what you pay for the entertainment, it can't be that sedated. It has to be awesome. It has to be at $4 a pop. It should be great every time. It should be amazingly interesting, awesome. You should go, oh wow, I picked this comic up. I really love this. This is great. That's how it should be. But of late, most companies have just been like, oh, we're just gonna, do mediocre work and that's good enough and da da da. And I don't understand that kind of attitude towards this industry because I mean, look, you're competing with tons of different types of entertainment, including movies, and we're talking movies from other companies like Warner Brothers, who make the Justice League, who make Batman, who makes Wonder Woman, who makes Superman, and you got Marvel, their stuff. They're competing with their own kind of products, and then you've got them doing these comics, and the comics are not very good. Let's go back. Let's flame back all the way. I'm gonna say early '80s, like 81, 82. Remember what's going on then? Remember the comics that were going there? Awesome. There was all kinds of revolutionary, cool ideas. And we're talking before Watchmen. We're talking before Legends of the Dark Knight. We're talking, 79 and 80. And when they decided we're going to do awesome comic books. And they did. And we're going to take series that were going to get canceled. X-Men. And we're going to write really awesome stories and get people interested and make them so cool that the fans will not just want to watch them and not just read them, but they want to read them over and over and talk about them. And 30 years later, you'll still be talking about it. Because, I mean, let's just be honest. Days of Future Past is over 30 years old. People still talk about it. Crisis on Infinite Earths is over 30 years old, and people still talk about it. That tells you that they've done the right thing. They planned ahead. They thought about it. They knew what they're going to do, and maybe it's told better stories. Maybe they're better writers. But the quality of books and the price you pay are just to a point being ridiculous, and this is not what it should be. It should be very much the mindset of, hey, we're putting out awesome product. We're putting out product for young kids to read, and we're putting out products for middle age, and then kids that are older, and they don't do that. It's very much of, and this is something I don't get. Okay, you have the movies coming out. People watching the movies. People are fans of that stuff. That's what they do. They're going to war the movies. Well, make comic books specifically for the fan base of the movies. And that would, to me, is like, just focus on doing those. And I would do those real simple. I mean, this is no joke. This is exactly how simple I would do them. The same way I would do the younger books. You write 18 issues. It's going to be an 18-issue series. That's how long it's going to be. If it's going to be the Avengers, and you call it the Avengers movie version, whatever. You connect it to the movie. So the retailers know this, and the fans know this, but whatever. So you call it Avengers, I don't know, whatever. You do 18 issues. It's 3 story arcs, 6 issues each arc. And it runs for 18 months. That's it. It runs for 18 months. And then it ends. And you do whatever storyline you want to do. You have connected the movie somehow. Maybe you make a direct connection. Maybe you make a pseudo connection. Whatever. It's still connected to the movies. It's the movie universe. The same pictures of the movie universe, the same way they work, that kind of thing. It's not associated with the typical standard comic book world. It's it's the Ultimates kind of, but separate. It's the movie universe. And then you do that's one section of it. That's one part. And like I said before, I split the actual readership into 3 different sections. Section number 1, young readers. Young readers. Getting more young readers involved in this is the way you win. Hands down. Everybody agrees with it. Give their imagination young, you got it for life. Disney has figured that out. Disney understands that. Disney owns Marvel. They don't seem to understand it in the book world. I don't get that part either. But you get them young, you get them hooked, you get them as fans, and they stay forever. So, you make small, younger versions of all the major books. You make the top 4, 5, even 6 major guys. Well, if you follow my formula of 4, the books you need to produce. You need to produce a male hero book, a female hero book, a teen book, male or female, doesn't matter, and a group book. Those are what you've got to make. And the genres you should pick from out of those 4, crime and espionage and military, traditional 4-color superheroes, science fiction, and fantasy. And you basically match up these 4 with these 4, and you pick books that would work corresponding with that. I've always said that. that is the key. That's how they're going to win. But they don't do that. So you make let's use Marvel. You do Amazing Spider-Man. You do Amazing Spider-Man. You do Captain Marvel. You need a young book. Well, Spider-Man would be the young book. So okay, Captain America. Ooh, no, see now it's fun. We do Captain America. This is Captain America. We'll do Captain Marvel because it's Captain Marvel. We'll do Amazing Spider-Man, and a team book. I do the Fantastic Four since it's family-oriented science fiction. You can tell some really good stories. So boom, there's the 4 books, and I would run those 4 books. Each one get 18 issues, and well, sorry, this is a kids. Yeah, that's right. This is a kids one. Run for 18 issues. 18 issues. That's it. And then when you're done with the 18 issues, you just reprint them again and keep reprinting them. You maybe do it like 2 or 3 cycles of that. So 18 months, that's a year and a half. You reprint again, that's 3 years. People say, like, why would you repeat it again? You change the cover on the front. Everybody knows. Everybody who's an adult knows. The young kids don't know. You need fun books for kids just to read. You want kids to read. And we don't have to give them new stuff. You don't have to rehash new stuff. Give them 18 issues, and then just boom, restart again. Because honestly, let's just call the truth. Let's call it what it is. Those books are going to be picked up by kids probably in the age group of 5 to 8, realistically. And they're not going to be grabbing them every month. It's not like they're going to the store every month and grabbing them. It's like when mom sees them, oh great, cheap comic books, I can get them, boom, grab them off the rack. So in 18 months, your mom has a pretty good chance to not get the same books twice. The odds are pretty much in your favor. Thanks, Troy. It's pretty much in your favor. So mom buys one now, when another, boom, you see it. Oh, these stories are great. When you get older, that's when you have the older comic books. That's when you're talking like 10, 11. When I started reading when I was 10, so 10 till 16, 17. And that's late. That's a 17. I'm not going to lie. That 10 to the 16, 17, that's going to be the mainstream standard stuff. 4-color, cool comics. Doesn't have to be violent. I'm talking not the violent stuff. I mean, this is just, nobody gets killed. No one ever really dies. It's not, you don't do that stuff. You don't play those kind of games. Well, you can, but they're coming back. It's, you pay attention to, like, those kind of rules. And you kind of write it like very traditional early 80s comic books. And that's how you focus it. And you just play that on. You keep playing that on. And it's mid-level, the 4x4, that's where that really comes into play. Because you can keep branching out. Like, you can do 4x4 on just military. Military and espionage stories. You got 4 of those. You do 4x4 on the full-color comic books. 4x4 on the science fiction. 4x4 on the fantasy. And just, you do the same thing. All of a sudden now you go from having, 4 books, you can have 16 books. And that's pretty huge. And then you can change it up. You can do the male, you can still do another male crime thing. You can do 2 male crime books. One male has this perspective, one has that. So there's lots of different ways to play this. This whole 4x4 thing is an old idea. I think I got it, actually, I probably think I stole it from DC Comics when they started redoing stuff, but even they stopped following it because I think they just made some bad decisions. And once again, and I think it probably came from, at least in my mind, it's kind of like when you read, back in the day, you used to read Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Amazing was the traditional 4-color Spider-Man you'd expect to see. Peter Parker was more the gritty urban stuff. So if you like crime and that kind of stuff, you want to see Spider-Man involved, you read that one. You read Peter Parker. If you want to see Spider-Man being Spider-Man with other superheroes and being happy, that's why you read Amazing. And I think, that was a smart idea. That was a brilliant idea to separate it like that. But then some idiot in marketing, and there's always somebody in marketing, it's always my field, some idiot said, oh, we got to tie these books together. We got to do multi-books so people buy all of them. And it's kind of offensive to try to get people to buy all the books. It's like, if you want to put out more Spider-Man books that are exactly the same, there's no difference, then why am I reading them? The books need to be different in tone and look and experience. You want people to have different experiences, even with the same character. Spider-Man's Spectacular Spider-Man run Peter Parker had a lot of great stories. The Sin Eater story was an amazing story. And the Death of Jean DeWolf, amazing story. Very gritty, very crime. It's like how Batman's Detective used to be. Detective was the detective book, and Batman was the silly villains he chased down and do cool stuff book. But Detective was the gritty, urban crime book. So, these are techniques that have been used before, successful. But now apparently everybody in the publishing business has lost their mind because they're like, oh, we're not selling like we used to. We're not selling these massive numbers. Well, yeah, you're charging $4 for a book. You can't, dude. When books cost $1, it was easy to buy. I could $20 worth of books could be 20 books. 20 books. It's like boom. I had a whole bunch of books. I'd be buying a ton of stuff. It was all healthy. The second they started upping the price and trying to suck as much money out of it as possible, they messed themselves up. And the sad part is people go back to, well, that's how much it costs to make a book. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Don't tell that lie. Look, printing is at its all-time low. The technology is at its all-time high. Printing is at its all-time low. Yes, artists still need to get paid for stuff. They still need to work on stuff. But I think artists need to actually do more work. Oh, and once again, people are going to freak out. Like, Porter, how are you saying artists need to do more work? It's not fair to the artists. Look, I know a lot of artists who do work and do great work, but I also know a lot of artists who just goof off and don't work as hard as they could. Just tell the truth, man. Tell the truth. They do. They're playing Xbox. They're goofing off. Oh, I need more time. Oh, I didn't do... Man, look, if you're serious about the business, you're serious about the business. That's it. Sure, yeah, we all used to buy a comic books for $1.50. I think a $2 comic book is not a big deal. You can spend $2 on a comic book and no one's going to flip it or get upset. I think the quality of comic books have gotten better. Really, this is amazing quality. This shiny paper and da-da-da. Well, get rid of the shiny paper. Go back to newsprint. Well, it won't look as good. Well, you know what? It'll also save you a cost. It'll save you a lot of cost. Because newsprint isn't really getting done as much as it used to because newsprint has happened to fall apart because of newspapers. And 75 cents was a good price. I think 75 cents was a good price when it was, but it's too. I mean, you can't do 75 cents now. It is feasibly impossible. It's just impossible. Until comic and going back, just the design of books and how they look and how they do. They can't be like novels that go on forever. That's another part. I believe if they were smart, they would do their books like the trades. We're going to do Captain America, and it's whatever trade, the Star Spangled Avenger. That'll be it. It'll be a 6-issue series. Boom. That's the first part. And this will be like every year you start over from one again. Well, every 6 issues you start over one. You do a series, This is Captain America, Star Spangled, this guy, and it'll be like 6 issues of that. Bam, 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 bam. The next issue after the 6 will be another series. Captain America, the subtitle, whatever. Bam, 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 bam. 6 issues. Damn. Next one will be... Because really, marketing wants, they want that number one. Because they know every time a number ones are bestsellers. That helps increase the sales. And everything from that goes down, 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 down. So you see number one. Well, you program people to get used to seeing number one. Oh, okay, it's going to be a 6-issue series, number one, bam. It's like you have a continuous limited series where you get to start at one all the time. But the title's the same, but the subtitle isn't. Do you have, imagine... I'll just think off the top of my head. Imagine if somebody could say, oh, do you have Extinction Agenda from the X-Men? Okay, it's 6 issues, whatever issues it was. Like 6 issues, bam. And then you have Fall of Mutants. Well, Fall of Mutants is, and then you still collect them as trades. You don't have to wait. It's like, whoop, next trade, whoop, 6, next trade. And you keep doing 6. 6 or 4 or whatever you determine it to be. I think 6 is best. You get 6, trade paperback, boom. But then a 6 trade paperback, you figure you get 25 pages per thing. Boom, that's 150 pages worth of content. Plus you put in some scripts, some cool art. So every 6 months, you have another trade paperback or something. Oh, look, another trade paperback. So the people get the book. They get it relatively cheap. There's a trade paperback. And that's like 6 issues at my magical $2 price is $12. The trade, you can go all the way to like $14.99. Or maybe you can go up to $20 by you saying, I'm putting on nice paper. This is going to be a nicer paper than the regular comic book paper. It's also going to have this other cool stuff in the back. We're going to make it really awesome, really cool, and just reprint the stuff. And there you got it. You get to reprint the stuff, and it doesn't cost you a lot. It's not like you're getting new content. You're getting old content and repurposing it. What have I said from day one? Take old content, repurpose it again, make it new, make money off of it. It ain't rocket science. And what Marvel does is they take the content, and they don't even think about like that. I mean, they want to do... hell, DC did New 52, then New 52, and then now they're doing... It's like you can't keep canceling the books and restarting them, hoping people to get on again. You got to find a different way to do that, where it plays into the story, that no one freaks out, and no one goes, oh, what, I can't, like retailers, people forget, they're price guides. Price guides keep the price of this stuff, and they got to know when stuff came out. And like, I can't even tell you, with the numbering changes, they jump from book, oh my God. I couldn't do this job Now, like I did when I was younger, I was like, there's no way, because books keep changing, they keep canceling. You don't know what version of book is. So it's like, I don't know. So, yeah, let's not do that. Let's think of smarter ways to do that. I think the guys involved in the whole thing from the marketing strategy really need to focus on that. They need to take steps back and figure it out. What's the right way to do it? How to handle it accordingly, and just work from that aspect. That's just me. That's always been me. I think that they're so stupid. I think they're so stupid about that. That was one of those really stupid things. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. It needs to be handled because as much as I love comics, I know this can't go on like this forever. DC's had three revamps of the New 52 in like 5 or 6 years. That's too much. That's too much revamp. That's too much new. I can't tell you characters. I just get so confused, and it's like, and yeah, they're not doing it right. They're not doing it right, and I get why they want to do multi-part things, but I remember when I was a kid, annuals came out in the summer. You get them over the summer because it's time to relax, and you do an annual, and it's just a cool idea. I still think it's a cool idea. I liked it when Valiant used to call them yearbooks. So and so yearbook in the year, whatever the year was, like 1990, well, 93, 94, 95, whatever. I thought that was a smart idea. I thought that was one of the smartest things they could possibly do. And I wish that the major corporations do the same thing. The purpose that I saw was for the annuals you could have the annuals, and at the end it became interconnected. So they tried to sell more annuals like that. And that's kind of not what the annual is supposed to be. The annual is supposed to be a cool one shot with something radically different, with some new artists sometimes. And you get like mini stories, and it could be a great showcase for new artists. Oh, that's another thing about showcasing new artists. It's just all right. Let me pull up my document. All right, so a long time ago, I'm trying to make this quick so I can hurry up. A long time ago, I always planned that we were going to be doing a comic book series. I always knew that one day I'd own a comic book company and I'd be doing a comic book series. So this is why I kind of did that whole 4x4, how I figured out that. And things I'd want to see and things I knew that would be perfect for comic books. All right, here it is. So I've always called my comic book line Amazing. I don't know if I ever changed that, but hell, whatever, I might. And so we went with we built we built our books that we're planning to do. Like I said, on the focus that I wanted to do. We had our good guy books. Because I don't want to tell you what the name of them are because they're good names. They're good names. Don't lose it. So, we came up with a good reason for it. We built a real setup thing. Actually, I want to move this if I can. I don't think I can. So, doing the regular books and stuff like that, we built that out. We also thought about how can we do bi-monthly, quarterly books to get people interested. So, and I'll tell you right now, I stole some names and titles from stuff, but I might be changing this up. So we had Amazing Team Up. It was a bi-monthly book, 32 pages. And it'd be one story about first-tier heroes. So like our top-level guys. So we're talking like the Wolverines, the Hulk, the Captain America, the Batman, the Supermans, that level guys. That level guys that are important, that people want to read more about, that people are interested in. We also did Amazing Double Threat. It's a bi-monthly, 32-page book. And it was two stories. So, it'd be like 16 pages or 15 pages and 15 pages. Well, really, it's more like 12 and 12, but whatever. You get two stories of second-tier characters. So we're talking like, I was going with the Huntress Huntress is one of my favorite second-tier characters, but the Huntress, Power Girl, Mr. Terrific, like Moon Knight, Mockingbird, that level. And then we had Amazing Triple Action, Amazing Triple Threat. It was supposed to be Amazing Triple Action, but I changed it. And it would be one story with 3 second-tier heroes. So you pit them in groups and just you try to run them. It'd be 32 pages, so 14 for one of the second-tier guys, and then 2 8-page stories for them, and then 2 pages for ads. That was the thing we were always running. I gotta move my camera because I gotta see this other one. And then we did Amazing Presents, and that was a quarterly 80-page book. And basically, the whole purpose of it was it was a tryout book for new writers and artists. It was 80 pages, and we'd have guys write stories based on our characters and submit, 8-page stories, and seeing if people like their artwork, seeing if people like the story, see if people are interested, and then you just mix them around and say, hey, did you like the guy's story? Do you want to see him again? And that was kind of their way to recruit them. And then we did Amazing Showcase, well, of course, and that was the top tier guys, the top artists on specialty books. They do a quarterly 40-page book. You get a guy who's you get a Warren Ellis to say, hey, I want you to pick an artist that you like, and you can do a one-issue story. It's going to be 32 pages. You guys write it, and boom, we're going to produce it. And like, okay, great. Or you get a Jim Lee to do one book, because the problem always comes, these guys can't do, like, I think they say, we're going to have them do a series, and they can't ever do a series. They're too busy. I mean, they got stuff going on. Get them to do one book. One book, they'll be good, you'll be good, everybody will be good, and you can walk away happy. So, yeah, that's I have this in my file. I've been keeping this for a long time. And I keep adding stuff to it, which is good. I like that. I keep working on this thing. One day this is going to be the big multi-million-dollar thing. So you can say you heard about it when he used to talk about it back in the day on his podcast. So you think I'm not crazy, but there you go. Just a lot of good ideas, man. A lot of good ideas that worked out well. And I'm very, very happy how well they worked out. I am. So I think this is a very, very cool thing. I think this is going to be very, very cool. I think people will be very happy. I think people want to see this. What can I say? Good stuff. All right. I'm going to get out of here. It's been a good day. Tomorrow, I'm not sure we're going to call Thursday. I mean, we keep doing these shows on Wednesday. I think people like them. So if people are liking them, as always. Very thirsty today. As always, come check us out on Wednesday. While a lot of things I was talking, you can still translate, you can still transpose this to RPG. So don't forget. So come back next Wednesday. We'll have some more books to talk about with some more marketing ideas. We'll still talk about stuff that we like. I can deal with those books in the ground. Let's just books in the ground. We'll talk about them later. That's not a big deal. They're not like they're super important. It's just some ideas, some other ideas to toss around. Some stuff to get in your head, get you thinking. So that's how it goes. All right. As always, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go to our YouTube, subscribe, tell some friends, have them come to our YouTube page, subscribe. The link won't be here, but go to youtube.com, type in Lewis Porter Jr. or Transparency Agenda Daily. It should pop up. Subscribe. We need subscriptions. Very, very important. We need subscription. That is like the most important thing. If you're not subscribing, please go over and subscribe. It really helps us out more than you could ever imagine. Just do us that huge favor. I can't ask you guys enough to do that. So, as always, thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow, and have a good night.